Hey guys, I'm back with another video. Today I wanted to test how much we can earn from farming 20k Abyssal tokens. As you can see, I have almost 20k just below, and I chose Shadowed Crypt. You can choose any open world dungeon that you want. Just check the items that you can drop. It may be more or less valuable depending on the price on your server. So that's debatable, but I'm just gonna talk mostly about the Solent. So there's different buffs like crab meat pie and apple pie, and any other things that you can stack pretty much that increase your Solent. You can get extra mastery or abyssal token efficiency. That's just better overall. I found it solo, but also in groups as well. Obviously, in groups it's gonna be a bit more efficient and a bit more and a bit faster. But you know, if you don't have anybody and you have the build, you can just go solo as well. You can just accept any kind of contracts. So I used about 24 contracts as well. And you can use just about any of them, or, you know, depending on the open world dungeon you choose, you can actually switch to the easiest one if you want. But if you don't want to just go for whatever. So that's a bit extra from the contracts as well. Took me around 3 hours to complete that. And I did it in portions, but you probably can do it in about maybe 2 hours or something like that. It depends really on the group as well, or how much you've been doing it solo, for instance. So the average price of the buff that I came with and the consumables like tree leaves and steroid was around 400k Solent. So keep that in mind. If you be farming for that long, you probably use some. It just makes things a bit better, but it costs a little bit. So basically just the raw Solent that I got. So from this point here, I managed to get 6.2 million Solent just straight up. That includes the contracts as well. That are like 24 contracts, but they don't give you that much Solent anyway. They give you like 10,000 Solent each, but still that's in this number. I'll post a list of all the items that I've obtained farming the 20k Abyssal tokens. But generally speaking, we got 4 epics, 21 blue items, 4 Abyssal aggregates, and then we got a bunch of skill growth stones and parchments as well, plus some polished crystals as well. We did also obtain a number of gems, the ones that are sellable for Lucent. So you could basically sell them for Lucent if you want, but the prices may vary depending on the server. We're not going to talk about the Lucent prices, but the Solent price if you decide to sell them directly to a merchant. And we also got other materials. And also in the end, keep in mind, we've got contract coins for the 24 resistance contracts. So that was 888 coins in total, which is just extra rewards anyway, but I didn't count them into the profits. You could do this even without contracts, obviously. You're gonna have a bit less rewards. Also, you get 24 backs from the contracts that I didn't count as well. So those things are variable, and you know, often enough you will go and farm even without contracts anyway. So keep that in mind. Don't think too much about the contracts anyway. It's just there if you want to be as efficient as possible. So the epic gems in Solent would be a total of 4.7 million roughly. Combine this with the raw profits that we got, it goes down to just below 11 million for me. We remove the 400k for consumables that we spent. So we roughly made about 10.5 million Solent in profit for 3 hours of farming, but this could be done a bit faster. Keep that in mind. Also, it depends a little bit on RNG. If you extract the traits from the epic gear, this is questionable. It really depends what traits you get. So this is again a lot of RNG. You can get really lucky with this and sell somewhat expensive trades, but keep in mind, most of the items you drop from these dungeons are gonna be cheap, generally speaking. The blue ones specifically will probably hit the bottom price of 10 Lucent per trade because a lot of people are doing them anyway. You have a huge amount, like excessive amount of these items there, so they'll be relatively cheap. So, but for me personally, what I've made based on the number of gems is around 70 Lucents in total. That's after taxes anyway, and a little bit more from aggregates as well. So you can check the different dungeons and decide which one is more valuable to you. And maybe if you're looking for a specific item, keep that in mind as well, because you can get a decent drop and you may use the trait or something. And generally speaking, maybe you can pick the dungeon that is least done. So for instance, Silius Abyss and Shadowed Crypt are probably the most common ones anyway. And also I would say Sorodoma Islands, even though it's a little bit harder to access, but eventually people get there as well. So personally, I may test that in the future as well. Probably the most profitable one based on this logic would be Sanctum of Desire, which is also the least favorable to me, simply because you need to actually pay attention to the rain schedule and so on and so on. And inside the dungeon, it's a bit tricky to go around. There's certain areas that are difficult to access. You got to do some specific tasks. But because of that, it may actually be the most profitable one. And from there, you may obtain certain items, even the blue ones, of which traits may be more valuable. So I will post the list of items right there in the end of the video, and you can pause and check everything specifically. So that was it for now. I'm just showing you here just roughly a couple of the items that I got. This is some of the number. Obviously, don't pay attention to everything. Not all of those things were obtained there, but I did manage to keep track of most of the things. So yeah, that's gonna be for this video. I hope you learned something useful today, and thank you guys for watching. See you next time.